Hello everybody, welcome to my first ever movie review, and this time I'm going to do Crimson Peak, okay? There are a couple of reasons why I bought this movie, mainly because it has like this gothic type of feel into it, not really, but there are certain parts in the movie that are like really gothic, like for instance the mansion, the way they are dressed, and the time in which the movie was made, and it's played, right? So we have as cast Mia Wasikowska, who we know from Alice in Wonderland, and currently in Through the Looking Glass we have Tom Huddleston, who we know as Loki, and we have Charlie Hunnam, who we know from the badass show Sons of Anarchy. So that's another reason why I bought this movie. I wanted to see it is because I just wanted to see how Charlie is acting with a different character and persona would be in this movie, because in Sons of Anarchy we know him to be this really tough biker guy and all of that. So I just wanted to see how his acting would be with this different character and persona, which I thought he did really well, including Tom Huddleston. And Mia, yeah, she's basically herself. She plays almost every time the same role. Well, not the same, but the persona and character she has is like really the same. Her facial expressions are the same, everything. So, um, but yeah, Charlie did really well in this movie. But in this movie, Charlie goes by the name Thomas, Mia goes by the name of Edith, and Tom goes by the name of Thomas. Um, I'm not gonna go into full detail of this of the movie, or else it will take way too long, because it's a really good movie, by the way. First and foremost, I like the story of it. Really amazing story, really lovely story. Everything was well put in place. I like the music, like I said, it was gothic like. But Crimson Peak, what is Crimson Peak? Crimson Peak is the ori and the red clay that reaches up from the ground that turns the snow red. So that is what Crimson Peak means. And later in the movie, you will get to hear the same thing, because it was said during in the movie. Because at the mention, like the sand and the snow is kind of reddish, is kind of red and all of that, because of the ori and red clay. So yeah, Edith. So in this movie, Edith gets approached by a few ghosts, women in ghost form, that kept on warning her, telling her Crimson Peak, kept on telling her that she needed to leave because she got married to Thomas. When they moved back to England, because they were in America, Thomas came in the picture because he had to present his work to Edith and her father. But while that, he also fell in love with Edith. But of course, the father didn't want that, because he already knew that something was sort of fishy with Thomas and his sister. His sister was involved too, Lucille. So while all that, he kind of confronted him. Edith's father confronted him, telling him that he needed to break up with her and that he needed to go back to England. But the sister, of course, got all mad and all of that, so she was the one that killed him. That's a little early, spoiler alert, because they didn't show who killed him, but I'm telling you right now. So that is kind of basically how they eventually got married and moved back to England. Where in England he lives in this really, really big mansion. It's like really old, broken, nothing is fixed, looks untouched. But it's still nice from inside and all of that. It really has this gothic look type, because it's really one of those gothic type mansions. Really a creepy house, but how you would say. But the reason why he married Edith is for money reasons, okay? Because he needed money for the mansion. I assume, for this machine he's working on, and all of that. So that's basically why he married her, but also with the intention of killing her after she signed the papers, because she were to sign the paper that some of the stuff gets on Thomas's name as well, or in this case everything. So when they killed her, then everything would belong to him. But that did not happen, and the reason why is because Thomas really fell in love with Edith, that the sister insisted, because she did want Edith death and not to die, but Thomas refused to do that. And then you have Charlie, who plays as Alan. He's like an osteopathic, right? He's like specialist in the eye and sort of stuff. That also he also was the one that find this whole thing with Thomas and Edith a bit fishy, a bit weird. So we started investigating. Her father already did some investigating when he hired a guy to do his investigation for him. So after his dad when and when Alan kind of noticed it too that something was really weird with these with Lucille and Thomas, he asked for the same guy, and that same guy gave him the same evidence which the father already dug up, and so Alan came to discover to find out that Thomas was already married. But of course, Edith didn't knew that. Edith kind of discovered that a little later in the movie, and how she found out is because these ghosts that kept warning her, telling her that she needed to leave the mansion and all of that were the women that Thomas was married to and killed. And not only that they warned her, but they also kind of showed her how they got killed, you know. So I'm not gonna go into full detail. You're gonna have to like watch the movie yourself. It's a really good movie, I can tell you that. If you're like, if this type of movie, if this is your like kind of type of movie, you know, the classy types, but with a little bit of horror in it, a little twist in it. So I thought this was really good movie. Really worth it. If you're gonna buy it, please buy it. Don't download it. You know, support the cause, help the guy out so he can make better movies when he makes money when we buy these things. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. There's a lot more details to it though, but I'm not gonna go. It's gonna take way too long if I go into full details of the movie, you know. But it was just a really nice movie. But Charlie in particular kind of impressed me the most. So you're gonna have to see for yourself. That's all I'm gonna say for now about the movie. If you like my review, hit the like button. Although this is my first review, I do tend to do a lot more because I recently ordered Deadpool, Mad Max, and The Forest, who is played by Natalie Portman. We know from Game of Thrones. So when those movies arrive, I'm gonna do I'll review them as well. So you're just gonna have to stick around, which is why you're gonna have to subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you did that. But yeah, that's about it. See you next time, and I have more movies and other movies.